During this time of the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of folks are taking stock of their immune system and how they can boost their body's natural defense mechanisms. And this morning we want to welcome Dr. Shoba to talk with us about immune system busters and how you can fix them. Good morning, Dr. Shoba.
Good morning.
Let's break these down. Short on sleep. I was telling you earlier, that's what's catching up to me a little bit. I'm not sleeping very well through the night, but it's important that you get your sleep.
That is so important because our bodies really rest and recover through the night. Our mind gets to be at peace so that we can function normally, and our immune system gets to re-gear and boost up when we sleep. We need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, not much less, not much more. We need to take care of our sleep habits. It should be peaceful, rested sleep, not just, sleeping in spurts and restless sleep or having sleep apnea.
And let's talk about being isolated. Right now, during the pandemic, a lot of people are quarantined at home and they're feeling some isolation, and that can be an issue as well.
Unfortunately, when you're socially isolated, your immune system goes down the tubes. And when I'm saying social isolation, I not only mean physical isolation, but I also mean emotional isolation. You can be in the presence of somebody, but if you're not connecting with them properly, and so it's important to stay meaningfully connected. You're talking to your sister, but you're very angry. You're talking to your spouse, but you're very angry. What they've found is spouses who are angrily communicating with each other have high inflammation markers, which are a big immune suppressant, immune busters. So it's very important to be in meaningful connections with people. You're on FaceTime, you're not putting somebody else down, you're talking happy thoughts. So important to have meaningful connections with people.
And I think that leads us into the next topic, and that's stress. A lot of people deal with stress in different ways.
Oh, that is true. And that can lead to lack of sleep and a feeling of isolation. You may be stressed at work. You may be stressed at home. Each of us is dealt with a different boatload of stresses, but how we deal with them is so important. Stress can cause not only immune busting, but also heart attacks and strokes and diabetes and high blood pressure, leads to poor eating habits. Oh, stress, how you deal with stress is so important. I think going in with a positive attitude every morning to problems that you have is going to help so much, because negative attitude causes inflammation and is a big immune buster.
And also right now, a lot of folks not getting the amount of exercise. They're not getting out there moving and doing the things that they should do exercise-wise.
Oh, that is so correct. You need to have at least 30 minutes of good physical exercise every day. And exercise boosts your immunity. So if you're sitting around or laying around more often than you're walking or moving, that's a big immune buster. You want your little white blood cells and your happy little hormonal immunity antibodies all to be happy little guys that fights all these little bacteria and viruses. And exercise and fresh air, fresh sunshine, so important for that.
And also diet being off. I know a lot of folks are eating more because they're cooking more meals at home and they're baking and doing things of that nature. But I also know some folks that are going the opposite way and are not eating enough sometimes because of the isolation.
Oh, that is so true. And I think, when we eat, it is what types of food we eat and what quantities of food we eat that is so important. The things that you want to minimize, because they're big immune busters, are a lot of sugary stuff with a lot of caffeine in it. So if you're reaching for the soda with a lot of sugar and caffeine, you're reaching for that sweet tea, or you're reaching for that caffeine-laden, coffee multiple times a day. You've done yourself a lot of injustice and your immune system is going down. Also, alcohol, you're reaching for that beer and you're stacking your fridge with beer and alcohol and greasy, fatty foods. Oh my gosh, you're just busting your immune system. You want to boost your immune system? Please go the opposite way. Eat all these fresh, green, leafy vegetables, all your fruits in different colors, your legumes, all these plant-based products. They're low in fats, they don't have the fats, they're high in antioxidants, your vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin E, and then you have your zinc, you have all these elements that you need in a way that the body can digest easily. When you think that take things in the pill form like turmeric and ginger and all these in a pill form, you're taking something that's already been manipulated and is no longer natural. It becomes a chemical. So you have to be so careful.
And we got just a few seconds here left for this last one. It's losing your sense of humor and keeping your sense of humor. I mean, laughter is the best medicine.
Yes, ultimately at the end of the day, laughter boosts your immune system. It releases all these happy hormones that helps your antibodies, your humoral system, your white cells, everything. It keeps you going and fighting all these viruses and all these bacteria. So please laugh a little. Get some humor back in your life.
Absolutely. Dr. Shoba, thank you so much. Great advice today.
Thank you.
All right. Dr. Shoba, great advice on fixing your immune system. If you need more information, we got some information coming up on our screen. We'll have it posted a little later. This whole segment will be posted on our daytime Facebook page and on our website coming up.